At the John Daly Major Ed Foundation, we also focus on making sure that we partner up with great organizations. Great organizations like St. Jude's, great organizations like the Boys and Girls Club, our friends at Warriors for Freedom, our friends at Force 50 Foundation, which provides veterans the health care that they need. As you can see, we are the safety net at the John Daly Major Ed Foundation to make sure that no one gets left behind on the field of battle and that you're taken care of in the home front. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. Hoorah!
You've heard me talk about Squares golf shoes and how they help you hit the golf ball further. And many of you are saying, oh, come on, Faldo, give us a break. How is that possible? But yes, they do. And it's proven with science.
What we noticed with the Square shoes was the shoe keeps the pressure in a more stable fashion towards the inside of the trail heel, allowing pressure to get to the lead side, generating much more club and speed and distance gain.
Visit squares.com. Change your shoes, change your game. Squares, the distance golf shoe.
And welcome back to Big's Golf Talk, BGT TV, BGT 2.0, right here on Native Family Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all your Amazon devices, and on YouTube TV. I am Big John Quick. He is the golf father, Bill Cuevas. And be sure to go visit and like Big's Golf Talk on LinkedIn, because soon enough we will be BGT TV will be available on LinkedIn. So if we get enough likes and LinkedIn says, yeah, you have enough people that like you, well, we like you too.
We like you too. As long as the people like you, they like you. They're followers.
This segment is sponsored by the Distance Shoe, Squares Shoes. Proof, not promise. Squares.com is the website, and oh, they got a lot of things coming out. And boy, oh boy, I'll tell you what, our next guest, or actually he's not even a guest anymore, he's a co-host here on Big Golf Talk. He's our third. He is the wisest man in golf. He is Greg Wise. Greg Wise put to the test the new Squares mesh golf shoes and then cleaned them. And Greg Wise, I got to tell you that test passed with flying colors.
I'll tell you what, I was so impressed. I laid out where I was going to shoot the nasty, messy shoes that I had, put some tape around them so I could put them right back in almost the same exact position when they came out of the washer and had dried. And I was like, wow, this is like they came out of the box. It was awesome.
It is awesome. Oh, and you know what? That was a true test, Biggs, because they honestly didn't know what was going to happen. Who plans to bring those shoes to Myrtle Beach and have it rain every single day? Nobody expects that. Not those torrential rain that we got.
I think the funniest part was when we got to Myrtle Beach and we went and talked to the rep there at the booth. He says, I don't know how they're going to react. Wash them and take a picture and let me know. And I went, I will.
Hey, honesty is the best policy. We won't throw Dave under the bus. Oops.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dave.
Yeah, we don't want to name names, but
yeah, we ain't dropping names. But yeah, no, we got the hit and it works. You know, that's part of the testament. And honestly, I mean, in the future, I'm pretty sure I don't know if those repellents would work. And especially since they clean so well, do you really need the repellents? You know what I mean? To keep them clean. So it would be interesting.
Well, I think with them cleaning up like that, you really don't have to worry about getting into something you don't like or, I'm going to risk my shoes. No, get in there and get it done.
And honestly, I guess wearing them on clear days, because if you have your regulars, you have two pairs as well. So if you have your clear pair and you have your other pair, makes you wear accordingly. You know what I mean? I was lucky. I had my waterproof ones and I needed them. You know, I needed that waterproof stuff because it was coming down hard, man.
Where you hit the ball, you need waterproof shoes. Oh, sorry.
Mr. Producer, can you turn off his mic? Why we're on this?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, he turned off his mic. Okay. All right. That producer.
Oh.
Yeah, how about that?
That's pretty cool. Look at him. We just have to watch his lips. Oh, that was a bad one.
See if we can read his lips.
Now, that looks like he's chewing tobacco or something.
I was doing a karate movie from the old days. Trying to kick your butt, those kind of things.
Bill, the Godfather Cuevas, we had a great discussion. I wish we could have gone longer with Nick Sherburne. Sherburne, and he's the founder and CEO of Club Champion. And Greg, I don't know if you ever had any kind of experience with Club Champion or visited Club Champion, but I'll tell you what, this past week Bill and I worked 4.5 hours, Bill, filming and getting segments done at Club Champion and here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Me being fitted and adjusted for my whole bag, from the putter all the way up to the driver, and Bill tweaking his driver a little bit, but it's hard to do when he's got broken toes. But we got fitted for 2 new putters that'll be coming our way. We're not going to tell you what company they are. We'll surprise you when they arrive, and we're going to have them on the show. But Greg, have you ever had any experience with Club Champion?
Haven't gone to a Club Champion.
No,
I'm gonna have to find one and go.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you what I like the most about Club Champion, Papa, and I'm pretty sure we can talk to Nick after the fact. Being that you have the magazine coverage and stuff like that, I think it'd make a great article. With the photos and everything like that. What I like the most about them, and we talked about it before on air, I like the fact that they're not pushing lessons. They're not pushing anything but components. They're gonna take. It could be a Titleist head and a different shaft that Titleist may not even have. They're going to fit you to your specifications, and that's what I like. I didn't like,
I like the fact that we could have a Mercedes engine in a Volkswagen car,
and that's the key. And a lot of people always, but it makes sense, Papa. And you can tell me if I'm wrong. Listen to it, right? When I first started golfing, the guy's name was Andy, and he was a golf instructor. I paid I think it was $125, and they had a whole group. There was about 12 of us playing, and they were allegedly teaching us hide the hot dog and all that other stuff. You know what I mean? Like kids, they were teaching us. So he said, the heads are great, but the shaft is your engine. That's what's going to dictate how fast your car drives. And in the beginning, I didn't think about it. Like, well, the shaft's going to make it. No, it's got to be the head. No, it was the shaft. And it got reiterated again when we were at Club Champion. I swung with broken toes, and I put my squares on again. And it hurt. I couldn't do it one, but I got it on. And I swung. And he goes, "You're right on the cusp right now." And I could feel the shaft, flexing. And he's like, that shaft may not be good, because if you can swing harder than what you're swinging right now with a broken toe, this isn't the shaft for you. And it made a lot of sense. It really makes a lot of sense. So I think, I forgot what it was. I think I was maxing out at 239, 242s, 243s. And he's like, "You got to get a lot more distance." So we're waiting for my toe to heal. I got one toe that hasn't healed yet. And when that heals and our stuff comes back, because we got more stuff that's going on as part of the experience, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to start swinging and look for a shaft, because it's really important. I want a high-speed engine. I want to torque that baby.
Well, it's real important, though, in golf, if you're fitted to what makes you work the best and makes that club head work the best. And he's right. I mean, the shaft is 90% of it.
Yeah, I agree. And the grip, shaft, and then that head, that contact. Boom. If you can, because a lot of times when you have that wrong shaft, you're not going to get it to center. Mine is it's too floppy. I mean, I was waggling it, and it's like.
Here's the thing: the shaft is the engine, that head is going to act as your tires. If you don't have the right tires on that car, it don't matter what the engine's going to do.
Exactly.
You know, you have to have the right head on that. You know, it's going to make a difference if you have 15-inch wheels versus 13-inch wheels. You know, when I mean, and my comparison here is, if you're a 20 handicap and you're out there playing blades, you really shouldn't be playing
crazy.
blades. You're just going to be spinning your wheels and not going anywhere.
That's too big of an engine and wheels for you. Back up, you know. So yeah, I think overall is good. Now, Mr. Wise, you had the luxury of being somewhere with some friends in Furyk, correct?
Or some Furyk and friends.
Yeah, some Furyk and friends. And it was a champion. It was a champion thing. So maybe I have been. No.
Okay. Well, I saw you, being that you pulled your media credentials. I saw the meal that you got to eat.
Well, hey, you know, that's part of being media is getting to eat, and they take care of you for good things you do.
So you got the good food and some other
all the ice cream you can eat.
No, I haven't seen an ice cream machine
yet.
At a media event.
Not yet.
I actually have seen at the U.S. Open I was covering in Wisconsin. They had Snickers ice cream bars all day long. I mean, yeah.
Ice cream bars are kind of a normal when you step up to a machine and pull the handle and you know get that.
Yeah.
They've
been speaking of Square Shoes, and this segment sponsored by Square Shoes and Greg Wise putting to the test. Greg Wise at Furyk and Friends Champions Tour. You actually ran into somebody that is wearing Square Shoes and got a really good picture of him in Square Shoes. And I think we have him right here. Yes, we do.
Woo! There you go, Big JD.
Big JD, yes.
Oh, yeah, look at that swing. Swing.
Actually, the main thing with that is that we were watching him, and I decided I wanted to go behind the tee on the next. That's on a par 3. That was 16 or 17. I wanted to go behind 18 and actually see him turning up on his toe for that glamorous squares type shot. And he was swinging so flat-footed because he had just had knee surgery on his left knee 2 weeks ago. And this man's out there playing golf competitively. He shot 4 under that day, and he's swinging flat-footed.
Well, you know what? And I'll tell you what, that is a proven point to what Square Shoes is. You know, you can have that kind of, you know, injury, swing flat-footed and still score 4 under, you know, and I'll tell you what, any other shoes, your foot's going to sway, and you could aggravate that injury a lot more.
Absolutely. I agree 100%.
Well, yeah, I hadn't thought of that. That's for sure.
Yeah. I think the support and, you know, the fact that he stayed grounded actually helped him. You know what I mean? With his injury. So,
and I'll tell you what, I wish I could be this man's age, and I hope that I could be this man's age and still hit a tee shot.
Yeah, boy.
You got it.
That is the man. That is
that was such an exciting morning. He hit the initial first tee shot off of number 1.
Yep.
And there were so many people. I tried to shoot a video, and I was standing in the bleachers, and that bleacher was rocking back and forth so bad. I was so unimpressed with my video technology.
I know you told me that it was shaking and you couldn't control it. I was like, what do you mean it's shaking?
I was bouncing all over the place thinking, oh, this whole thing's going to come down, but it didn't. But he is such a showman. He is such a people person. And the interesting thing is to see, there was a couple celebrities there. Rothenberger from the Pittsburgh Steelers was there to play in a celebrity match. And he was like a little kid getting to stand beside Jack Nicklaus. I mean, here's a guy that's going to be a Hall of Fame football player as soon as he finally hangs up them cleats. So excited to get to meet Jack Nicklaus.
Honestly,
I'm told that Big Ben has hung up those cleats.
Oh, he has?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why he was able to be there.
Oh, okay.
That's right. And Jerome Bettis, you said Jerome Bettis was there? There you go.
Yep. Big. The bus.
All aboard.
They played a 9-hole match after the event was over with two of the Jaguar players, and they were playing for $100,000 for two charities in the Jacksonville area. So Rothenberger ended up and Bettis basically won the match, and I think they won $67,000 for their charity.
Wow.
So it was a good event. I mean, it's
I like
Furyk
that
and
kind of
Friends
stuff.
is bit on Timuquana Country Club in Jacksonville. It's the only event that I know of, and anybody can correct me if I'm wrong, but you can drive there, take the buses to get into Timuquana because it's such a tight area. But I've never seen shuttle boat service to a tournament before coming out of the city of Jacksonville across the river
Right.
and docking and dropping people off and picking them up and taking them back. That was quite a interesting thought.
I think
Billy,
next
one
year
of
we'll
your
have a
favorites
crowd.
right here. One of your
Mhm.
favorites right here.
Let me see. Oh yeah, nuts on my boy. Pound for pound, nothing comes close. Oh
And
no,
here
he's playing.
There he
Look
is
at
swinging his Tour Edge Exotics.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Linger, yes.
And the thing is that he just lingers on and on and on. Get that? You see how I did that?
Oh, that's bad, but you don't spell it linger.
Yeah, no, that got to be a great event. And you know what? We're going to actually have a guest in the very near future. And I believe in like 2 weeks, 2 weeks' time, we're going to have a product that Mr. Furyk endorses, and he's all over and has done videos and everything. And I know, Greg, me and you and Biggs have talked about it separately.
Oh,
I'm not gonna, oh, yeah, you know exactly. I'm not going to spill the beans. Come on, Mr. Wise. We're going to keep people
It's that
waiting.
special little thing that you want to talk about, but later.
Exactly. It's called I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
Wisconsin's very own wins the tournament. There he is.
There he
Mr.
is.
Furyk. Yes.
That's a classy man right there.
I
I
tell
love
you
that
what,
guy. He's a classy guy. He really is. Champion.
the main thing about Steve Stricker,
Mhm.
you can't see his eyes unless you're straight in front of him
Uh-huh.
and taking pictures, or he's looked up enough, because you can't get a side view of him and see his eyes. He is that focused on
On what
the
he's
brim
doing.
of his hat is
Uh-huh.
below his eyes.
Wow.
We were talking about
That
his
event
wife,
is a PGA event.
PGA champions.
It is a
PGA Tour champion.
PGA Tour champions. So it is. I think we're going to have to try and go there one year, Mr. Biggs.
Yeah.
It'd be a
You
good
know,
thing to
hey,
cover.
listen, Furyk and Friends, this is what it's really all about, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, you go. The children.
Yeah.
I love it.
The Furyk Foundation certainly doing the best that they can do for kids and
Mhm.
beyond, and Jim and his wife and the family and stuff like that, just doing a terrific job for charity. And
He's
that
good
event's
man.
always
He's
a
a great
popular
ambassador for golf. That's what golf
It
is,
is-
man.
It is definitely the event in Jacksonville. If you're not a football player and connected with that, they do a tremendous job on promoting and having kids involved in zoo items and connecting kids to the event. It's phenomenal.
Media. Oh yeah, look at that's a beautiful shot right there. That's incredible. Now, I know your last tournament that you went to? I don't know if we talked about it before, but the last one you went to where you pulled a prank on somebody, concerning a watch and everything. Did you get to play in this one?
No.
this
That
one-
was a little different. No, that was the President's Cup, and we got to play for Rolex. But yeah, there was no watch involved. I still have the takes a licking and keeps on ticking.
We got a few minutes. Tell us that quick story, and also we can't forget that we have to reach out to them because we want to get them on the show too and see what we can do.
The Chuck Malone Square story. I get a text the other day. Matter of fact, it was just Tuesday this week, and he says, "Greg, call me as soon as you can." And I went, "Okay." So I call him because he's never texted me. And he goes, "I got a problem with the shoe company Squares." And I had told him to get Squares about a year ago. And his wife surprised him and got him his first pair of Squares. And he goes, "They started to come apart." And I went, okay. So I'm sort of quizzitive what we're going to talk about. And he says, so I called him up and told him, and their customer service department said, take 2 pictures and a couple of pictures of it, send it to me right away. And so Chuck went ahead and bought his new mesh shoes. So they were on the way. And lo and behold, the next day, he gets an email from the company that says your Squares replacement shoes are en route. The cost is $0. We've taken care of them. And Chuck said, Greg, I have never, and he's played 25 years. He's a 4 handicap. He goes, I have never had anybody, shoe company or anybody, replace them with no questions asked. He says, it's phenomenal. And I said, well, they're a good company. And he goes, I'll tell you what, he says, I won a pair of shoes at a tournament I was playing in. And out of respect, I wore them the next day and I made 9 holes. And I went back to my truck and changed them. And
That's awesome.
he basically gave them back their shoes and said, give them to
This
another
guy right here.
group. Yeah.
I did that too. When I first got Squares, I was like, nope. After I wore Squares, I couldn't do it anymore. But I did. You let him know that I relayed the message that you sent to me to the head dog while he was in the chair getting his stuff done. And he was very happy. And that customer service rep, he knows him well, and he will acknowledge him of what happened, because that's what the company wants. That's what Mr. Witzkowitz wants. He wants people to be happy. I mean, stuff's going to happen. I mean, it's inevitable. We can buy the best products in the world. They're still going to break down one way or another.
It's the response.
Yes.
It's a response of the company and the customer service of what they provide that creates a forever customer.
Well, the interesting part is industry today takes advantage of people. Like they won't say anything.
Yep.
And then they won't respond and say, well, it was just, you use them too much. And he plays he plays 3 days a week, and he basically wore out his shoes.
Yeah.
But because it wasn't normal wear and tear, they said, we'll replace them, and replaced them.
And they did it right away. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And that's what, what, Biggs, we're blessed. We have 2 companies that we deal with. One is Squares. If something goes wrong, and it's not the first time, it won't be the last time. When you're dealing in that kind of quantity, stuff's going to happen. But they stand by their product always. The other one is Torridge. You know what I mean? Not only does the price point match, there you go right there, and you get the value for the dollar. If something goes wrong with that, they fix it. We saw the
lifetime limited warranty. Yes.
Yes. And Biggs, even before we filmed him, he went through that. So, they stand by what they need to stand by. That's what it is. So I know we're short on time. So Mr. Producer needs to end this segment. Yep, something like that.
All right. Greg Wise, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you, brother, and we will talk to you soon.
My pleasure.
Boots on the ground.
BGT, more BGT 2.0 coming your way right after this.